Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Chats with Chaudhry. I hope you're safe and well. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Oliver Wehmeier, who is the Managing Director for acCELLerate. And Oliver is actually a speaker at the upcoming Pharmalab, which is happening in 2 weeks' time on November the 25th to the 27th. So we're going to catch up and learn a bit more about Oliver's talk that's there. But before we do that, Oliver, how are you?
Oh, hi, Rizwan. Very well, thank you. So I'm really looking forward to the last big event this year, besides the holidays, of course. So how are you?
I'm very, very well, thank you. Now, look, I understand you are going to be talking, as I said, at Pharmalab in a couple of weeks. But before we talk about that, for people who are not familiar with Pharmalab, can you give us a bit of background on your history with Pharmalab? I know you've attended Pharmalab before, haven't you?
Yeah, I have, but to be honest, I'm not super familiar with the Pharmalab as well because I only attended once last year. And it's all about analytics and quality control of pharmaceutical products in manufacturing. So really at a late stage. And in the past, there was a clear focus on microbial impurities testing and toxin pyrogen testing. But more recently, they started to cover also the more functional aspects of quality control and manufacturing. And that what actually caught my interest. So last year, there was a track on ATMPs, so cell and gene therapy, which is kind of a new group of products. And this year, for the first time, it will be further expanded to the field of bioassays and potency assays for the quality on functional quality control of biotherapeutics, and that's where my home ground is. So at the Pharmalab, there are all the analytical topics addressed from a very much regulatory perspective. So also GMP compliance is addressed, and I guess that makes the Pharmalab so specific.
Right. Now, as I said, you were there last year as an exhibitor, but you also sat in on the talks as well. So from your perspective, as someone who attended last year, how did you find the show, both from an exhibitor point of view and from a sort of delegate point of view?
Yeah, as I said, so I get mainly attracted by the ATMP focus, so that also functional aspects had been addressed, and that was really interesting for me because the ATMPs provide additional challenges to the industry and quality control. So really valuable for me to learn about that because that's new for me as well. And from the exhibitor perspective, of course, we had customers coming or potential customers coming from this area of business. So I had really great discussions about the bioassays as well.
Fantastic. Now, and as I said, you have got a talk, but let's talk about the talk. But before we do that, maybe people to put into context, people can understand a bit more about your business and who acCELLerate are and what you do as a business.
So we are probably not one of the major players here, but we have more kind of a niche product. We are really focused on the preparation of custom cell banks, which are used in biopotency assays. So we do custom cell banking for our clients from major pharmas and biotechs with a specific focus on the preparation of assay-ready cells, which then are pre-qualified and can be used like a reagent. So that's our core business, what we are offering. So I'm dealing with a lot of different biopotency assays, and it's very interesting for me to hear from the user's perspective and from the regulator's perspective what they think about it.
Right. And what is your talk about then at Pharmalab?
So I will presenting in the new track of bioassays and biopotency testing. Many of these bioassays, as I said, are in vitro assays, which are working with cell lines, which have been specifically designed to mimic the mode of action of the product. And my talk will be dealing about the qualification of these analytical cells, because this is still an open topic.
Right. And why is it so important to have that qualification done?
Well, of course, from the GMP compliance perspective, there is still a lot of uncertainty in the industry how this analytical cells need to be qualified. So there is a common understanding that these cells are not have to be manufactured under GMP, but they're considered as a critical reagent. So there is, because they're not regulated under GMP, there is no clear guidance how these cells need to be qualified, and therefore people in the lab who are running the GMP bioassays try to use different guidances from the GMP ecosystem, like the ICHQ5B, which has actually been designed for production cell lines. So there is a clear focus on the safety from the ICHQ5B, but not so much on the quality of the cells, which is important for the use of the cells in the GMP bioassays, but not so much on the safety. So I would suggest to look a little bit beyond side of the GMP ecosystem, and would introduce a guideline from a completely different world. So the alternative methods of animal safety testing for chemicals, which is guided by the OECD. And they have a guideline, which is what I think way more applicable to analytical cell banks also in the pharmaceutical industry.
Brilliant. Okay. And I know obviously the conference runs across a couple of days. So when is your talk?
When my talk is, I have no idea.
All right, what I'll do then,
It will be somewhere in 2 weeks, I guess. But I don't exactly know when it is. So I would encourage everyone to look at the agenda.
Well, I did catch Oliver out, but we didn't plan to ask these questions. So what I'll do, Oliver, is I'll put the details of the talk above this video. So don't worry, you don't have to. All right. Now, final thing, apart from your own talk, though, what else are you looking forward to at Pharmalab in a couple of weeks?
So, of course, I'm really looking forward to intensive discussions with the stakeholders of the industry, in particular with the regulators, to hear a little bit more about their understanding how these cell lines need to, so the analytical cell lines need to be qualified for the use in bioassays, and in particular when it comes to the ATMPs, because there is still a lot of unclarity on how these ATMPs need to be qualified as well. So how could cell-based assays come in place here as well? That's interesting, and yeah, a lot of fruitful discussions, some traffic at our exhibition booth, of course, as well. From my last year's experience, it is a great kind of it's a big event. I was surprised; it's much bigger than I was thinking, but it was still kind of a family atmosphere. So the people were really, it was a great networking. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Well, I was going to ask you finally, for people who've not registered, why should people attend Pharmalab? But I think you sort of touched that in your last answer anyway, in terms of how you're looking forward to it.
Yeah, a little bit, but the one thing which actually brought me to this conference is was this ATMP track last year, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people still realize the Pharmalab as a conference with clear focus on microbiology. And I would encourage always with this new topics on bioassays, on ATMPs, also lab automation, laboratory automation. I guess that the Pharmalab could be of very high interest also for those who are not in the field of microbiology, but also from the other areas as well.
Brilliant, Oliver. Look, Oliver, it's lovely to see you. Hopefully I'll see you then in 2 weeks' time. I've got my hotel room and my flight's only booked yesterday, but it's all done now. So hopefully I will see you all being well in 2 weeks' time. So there you go, viewers.
See you in Neuss then.
I'll see you in Neuss. So viewers, if you are attending Pharmalab in 2 weeks, I look forward to seeing you then. If you haven't registered yet, but you are interested in the topics that Oliver said, and also microbiology and other areas, I'll put all the topics up above this video so you can actually see the different tracks there are. Then make sure you do sign up for Pharmalab. It is a great event. I've been going every year since 2016, and it's always been a great event. It gets bigger and bigger every year, but still, as Oliver quite rightly says, still has that sort of family atmosphere where everybody who knows everybody. So I look forward to hopefully seeing you there in 2 weeks. So, Oliver, it's lovely to see you. Safe travels, whatever you're doing the next couple of weeks, and I'll see you in person. And viewers, thank you for watching. Until next time, as always, stay well and stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Richard. Bye-bye.